those winds did not do a damper on several of our power lines. So definitely seeing the impacts throughout the North Country. You can see 12,000 people still without power at this time, 238 in Clinton County, Franklin County just over 1,300, and still over 10,000 people without power in St. Lawrence County. That value actually increased within the half hour or so. So that's something we're going to be watching, with people still in the dark at this time. Now in Vermont, over 27,000 people are without power. Obviously, Chittenden County is the hyper focus of the most people being in the dark. Caledonia just over 1,400, 771 in Lamoille and Addison County, right behind Chittenden County, with about 5,400 people without power at this time. Now, if we do a town-by-town breakdown on this, you can see definitely Bristol and Jericho at the top of the list. Underhill right at 909 people without power, and Starksboro falling behind at 751 without power. So hopefully we'll slowly start to see improvements on that front. We're still seeing several closed roads due to trees and power lines down. This is, again, your reminder, never approach power lines because you don't know if they're live or not. This is what it's looking like on Vermont 116, still closed between Quarry Road and Notch Road. So you'll definitely want to avoid that area for delays. And we also still have the continued road closure on Vermont 15 in Cambridge. That's right at the wrong way bridge there, with some lines entangled in a car there. So certainly need to be safe as you're making your way about. And speaking of making your way about, we've been in the lab all morning long, and that's where we find meteorologist Andrew Grotsky, who is in the Richmond area. And Andrew, I hear you're seeing some down power lines and trees in that area.
Yeah, Marissa, it's been quite the turn of events over the course of the morning, covering all this damage. I took a tour basically around southern Chittenden County and then dipped down into Addison County over the course of the morning. I've been kind of keeping a log here of some of the places I've stopped and some of the damage I've seen, so I kind of want to do a recap to start things off. Earlier this morning, a stretch of South Brownell Road in Williston was closed due to a power pole that was snapped coming across lines, so that stretch was closed for a few hours. Not sure if it's quite yet opened back up. And then Hillview Terrace in Hinesburg, another spot that I stopped earlier this morning as well. There was a trailer park there, and there were 3 trees that came on 3 different trailers. I spoke with a gentleman hearing those details. Also on Richmond Road, right near Hillview Terrace there in Hinesburg, I witnessed about 3 or 4 trees that had been moved off to the side of the road. So Hinesburg certainly hit hard. Oak Hill Road, right near the Hinesburg and Williston town line, was another spot seeing a lot of damage. There was a large tree on the side of the road. Multiple other trees were on people's properties and crossing their driveways as well. So that's also in that Hinesburg area. So that seemed to be a hot spot this morning. As well, I went down Route 116 towards Bristol, and that area saw quite a bit of damage. As I got to downtown, I noticed the street lights were out there right in the center of town. Many people's lawns had some sticks and twigs in them, but as I headed further south on Route 116, still in Bristol, there was about a 1-mile stretch that seemed like it was hit really hard. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some wind gusts about 60 to 70 miles per hour. There were numerous large chunks of tree just on the side of the road, large branches that were all clustered there. There were some road crews taking care of those. I witnessed multiple trees that had been uprooted in people's lawns as well, a couple of them at least. And then there were a couple trees that were down across power poles. One was right on Route 116 in Bristol. Another one was on Cobble Road right off of Route 116. So a lot of tree damage in the Bristol area as well. Certainly those were the active spots this morning. Since that point, I've driven the Weather Lab into the Richmond area, and from what I could see on Route 2 there were some little twigs and branches occasionally in people's lawns. Didn't seem to be as much of a hot spot. And where I am right now, I'm actually in Jonesville. I spotted a few twigs in someone's lawn and a cluster of some fairly larger branches that are out ahead of me here. So I want to finally switch things over to the roof cam, and you can see out ahead of me this cluster of branches here. This is right off of Route 2 in Jonesville, just over the line from Richmond. So yeah, a few branches on the side of the road there, but not seeing any large branches or any